Hey everybody, welcome back to this week's show. Hey, we're doing something a little bit different like we always do. One of the best perch baits there is definitely hellgrammites. And right here is a hellgrammite. What is a hellgrammite?
They're a large dragonfly with the 4 wings. That's the larva.
Okay.
And you catch them in the water before they hatch out and fly away and turn into a dragonfly. But like you said, they are probably the best bait known to man. You'll catch everything, perch, bluegill, anything that swims, walleye, bass, everything.
There's a nickname for hellgrammites. It's called perch candy. All right, one down for me.
All right. I do like those weeds up here. I'm canary grass.
Okay.
I'm gonna sneak over there, and they're a little more vertical on the edge. So I'll pull the slime stuff back and then dip into it.
Knock them off if they're hanging on.
Yep. So a lot of times I'll look at a area, pond, where they like to hatch, and I'll look for vertical weeds on the edges, cattails, canary grass, and then also they're right in this floating top weeds here. They'll just hang on to it, but eventually they have to get themselves to an edge, crawl up the stalk in order to make a cocoon and dry off and fly away. Correct. Yep.
Hellgrammite Big Daddy right here. I'm kicking your hinder. Now here's a hellgrammite right here. Now this is a really nice size one. Yep.
Starting to get wings. They're maybe not quite as good as hellgrammites, but hey, they work.
Now what I did is basically, this is how I used to do it when I was younger, and I built a screen, and it's like a sifter, and the nice part is it floats. I can let go of it, and you see all the different bugs and stuff floating around in here, and then there's your hellgrammite right here, and into the container he goes. Okay, so far the sifter is working.
So you cut these in half when you're fishing, you get that smell in the water, and with perch, they travel in groups, and you get one in, they'll start smelling that, and then they just keep on coming in. But yeah, I like them green ones.
Get one?
Yep, we haven't had a double or a triple yet, but yeah, another real nice one.
Okay, nice.
Another rockfly. It's a different stage. This is the beginning of a hellgrammite. That's a freshly hatched one. Real small, but they grow rather fast. You can get them from mid-June all the way into September usually. But that's a real little one. Here's the next size. This one's a few days older than the last one. And look at how little he is. Throw them back in, you come back for them. Typically the second to third week of June, you really start getting them, and then around the 4th and after, and that carries all the way into almost September. It's nice to have a few ponds you can alternate and give it a few day rest and come back and not overdo it in one spot by going like every day.
Right. And you know, it's one of the kind of things most of the time, if you ask a landowner to go on his pond or his ponds to catch hellgrammites, most of the time, as long as you're respectful and really just don't leave garbage,
right,
the guy's probably gonna let you come back and do it over and over.
Yep, exactly. They typically don't bite, but last week I did have one grab right onto my finger.
That's something to talk about too, because that hurts.
Yeah, usually they won't bite you or something. They have a front mouth on them, I don't know if you noticed. But last week I did happen to have one. I was gonna go break it in half and he wasn't having it, and he bit right onto my finger, and I had to get their hand to get the thing off because they actually pinch on pretty good. Dandy.
Another good one. A little bit darker one too.
Yeah. You can get them black, brown, rust color, green. They come in
They're super green,
yeah.
But when you look at a dragonfly, it makes sense because you think about all the different colors that dragonflies have.
Right.
I think dragonflies are extremely cool.
Yeah, they are. Oh, there's another one. Another one.
This is the part that I always love about doing this, is that you never know what you're gonna catch. And look at that tadpole. Look how far along. This thing is gonna be a true blue frog here in probably less than 24 hours.
Right. He's got legs already.
He's got legs. He's a cool one.
Somehow you got him to sit there.
I can't believe he did that. Is this a natural one?
Oh. Yes.
Okay, let's show you guys this.
You
don't want to grab them.
No.
Pinchers on that one.
Both ends, I believe.
Yeah, and they're soft. They're really soft. Like, look how long he is compared to the other ones. It hurts.
You pull
want
him
to? You want to?
Maybe worse than a crab.
Oh God.
I haven't seen one of them in a long time.
No, I had one here the other day. I thought I tried them for bait one time and they could not get a bite on them.
Right, and you can really, the texture, I just threw them in the container, but the texture is totally different on them, where a Hellgrammite is a lot harder, right? Because they've got that more like a shell feel to them.
Yep.
And these are extremely soft, right? You know, and when you grab Hellgrammites, then all of a sudden you grab one of these, and it doesn't feel right at all.
It's
especially
like
when you know how much they can pinch you too.
Yes. So you see them little spikes in the back? They shoot water out that. It makes them jet along underwater, feel like a submarine. Ooh, another big one. Ooh. And one of the itty bitty ones.
Did ya?
There's a good one. Ooh, a big one.
Ooh, you're on. That's a nice one. You know, honestly, this is probably the first time that I've Hellgrammited in, I don't know, a long time. And it's very relaxing. And to me, it's kind of one of them interesting things is that obviously you're doing something different. You're going out and getting your own bait. It is no doubt the best perch bait there is on most bodies of water. It's good exercise. That's a big thing to look at when you start getting to be a little bit older or younger. And the other part is it's just kind of cool, all the different things that you see. Hey, a little lightning up there. Lightning, Hellgrammiting, and being in a pond do not go good together.
This is a nice green, brownish green one.
Pissed off?
Yeah, bright green. Look at that one.
Okay, here's the big thing. Let's see old school Hellgrammite champion. You guys didn't know that I was a champion. I got 113 dozen in 3 hours in the Nina Slough. I still hold that record. I'll tell you what, the great part was that my science teacher, old Lenny Herricks, he was a big perch fisherman, and he gave me a C+. It was the only C+ I got that year because I gave him all the Hellgrammites. All right, Pete, let's dump them out. See who's got what.
You might have beat me.
Okay, I don't know. Let's see. Okay.
A little up here.
Okay, count yours out, quick. I'll count mine out. No cheating here.
Like,
Gonna be close. Okay, I got 1, 2, 3, 24, 25, 26, 27, 39.
35.
And I had 39?
Yep, 35.
I beat Pete Hupf again. I still stay the champion when it comes to Hellgrammiting. Old school netting versus new school netting. Still old school beat them. Now, tomorrow we're going to go out and do some perch fishing, and I'll show you guys how effective it is to do Hellgrammites. Pete, let's get the boat ready.
Yep.
I'll see you in the morning.
Sounds good.
Hello.
Hello. What do you think about it?
I think it's great that Pete does all the work for me.
All right, Pete, tell us what we got going on here.
We are going to tight line a weed line here. We have deeper weeds. We're at about 17 feet. A lot of the spots are in 12.5 and 14, but this is a deeper weed line. So we're just spot locking using tight line and Hellgrammites, and we're going to bounce around until we land on bitey fish.
But Hellgrammites are definitely a key bait in a lot of bodies of water. And down here in Madison, no doubt it's probably the number, or it is the number one bait.
And it's what they're eating in the lake, and it's the go-to right now, especially this time of the year.
Okay, let's get her going. Now, Pete, I noticed in your container, what's the key to keeping Hellgrammites? Because I know if you put too many in, they will actually kill themselves.
Yeah, they'll chew on each other and kill each other, but I use paper towel, kind of slows them down, and then you keep them in the fridge. The
Keep them cold.
Colder the water, the better. And you basically just rip them in half, and I hook them on so the guts face down. And once that smells in the water, it creates pretty much a parade of perch. And you want to just bring the split shot off the bottom, and your bait is basically going to be on the bottom. These are only like 4-foot rods, but they have a tip from here to here, the rest is all backbone. Very sensitive, and you'll see a bite, and it'll be no more than just like a little tap like that. And a size 6 bait holder Aberdeen hook, half a Hellgramite, 2 split shots, a little bit wavy today. That'll keep that bait real straight.
Now, how do you know it's a bluegill? Just the way it's
Spin it.
fighting it. Oh, yeah.
Perch will come straight up.
Okay.
So we're trying to position our boat right on the weed line, and this is one of the deeper weed lines in the lake. This one's at like 17.5 feet. Typically they're at like 12 and 14 feet. So this is a deeper weed line. Another thing I like is fishing like a big wall of weeds. If you can find a wall of weeds, you definitely better off. Just a little bluegill, everything's traveling on this weed line here.
Ooh, here we go.
Right there. Ooh, that's a clean.
That's a cleaner right there. That's where they start right there. You know, they're not the big Green Bay perch, but you know, when it comes to like eating perch, like when you talk to like the commercial fishermen, like the perch that they love to get in their nets are definitely the ones you see when you go to a restaurant, are like that 7 3/4 to like 9 inches.
Well, we're gonna make a move to a shallower area, kind of south of us here. There's more of a wall of weeds that we'll be fishing by. We're just gonna keep on moving until we land on the perch.
Tony, that's what we want. Remember, when you're perch fishing, if they're not biting, give it 15, 20 minutes at the most, keep it moving. And a lot of times the moves don't have to be that far. Sometimes anywhere from, 50 feet to a half a mile. That's about all I'm moving. Here we go. See what we got going here. Yep, good little eater right there. Definitely the wind picked up a little bit, and the bite's definitely starting to pick up a little bit more. So let's see what happens. You know, the problem with today is that we started off today and literally just caught bluegills after bluegills, and we had about 10 dozen hellgrammites, and now we finally landed on the perch. They got a little bit better attitude, and Brian was just here clubbing on them pretty good, and now we're down to bare minimum on the hellgrammites, and for some reason they don't want to hit the worms as much as they do the hellgrammites. So I don't know what to tell you guys. Yeah, real good one. There you go. That's what we want right there. We'll take them all like that. That's a good perch. Was that on a bug or on a worm?
On a bug. Oh, another nice one. There you go.
That's a little fatter.
Just a different area of the lake. They definitely have been pressured.
There's another good one.
Another good one? Oh, shoot, yeah. Nice job.
Oh,
Ooh, that was a better
Should
one.
have
I
kind
would've
of kept the
that.
momentum going there.
Yep. No, a lot of times it really depends on like the wind as far as how many split
Yeah.
shot you'll put on
Yep.
there, right?
Yep.
The whole deal is to try to keep that line as tight as you
Straight.
can.
Yep.
Right. I just had a double going. Yeah, there's one on that one too. There's a nice perch. Another perch. You know what a difference. Oop, I just lost mine. I had a little bigger one. But again, it's one of them things now. Pretty much everybody's left the lake, all the diehard perch fishermen that came out this morning. And we're about noon right now. And for some reason, these perch just are on fire now. No matter what the conditions are, if there was 100 guys out here, there would be at least 2 or 3 or maybe more guys catching the perch. No matter what, they're always biting somewhere, somehow. And it's just one of them things, hey, just never give up. Some days, everything comes together right away and it's cool. But other times, it's like today, it's one of them kind of things where we really got to work for the fish. And when it does happen, and I'm sure it will happen, you know what? It's one of them kind of things where I personally feel like I appreciate it a lot more. Persistence. Never give up.
Another nice one.
Ooh, there you go. A little smaller one, but yep, at least it's a perch. People think just because there's fish down there that they're always going to bite, and that's not the case. Obviously, as humans, we like to eat a lot. Fish are not like that. They can go days, weeks without eating. It all depends on what's happening with the weather, water temperature. But one of my favorite stories is that the biologist up in Green Bay a long time ago, his name is Rod Lang, and he told me this story that in the fall they went up and they were tagging fish up at the pier, and there was like 6 boats up there, and they got out there about 9 in the morning, and they start going over up by the dam up there where the boats were all fishing, and somebody yelled out from one of the boats, "Don't even bother shocking, there's not any fish here. We've been here for 3 hours, haven't caught a thing." Well, he turned on the shocker to start shocking, and walleyes everywhere. Kind of reminds me of like muskie fishing. You're hunting a lot, and you know when a major or minor is coming through, or something switches with the weather, wind switches, comes up, you got a front coming through. Well, it's no different in anything else. You know, I always have like a milk run. And like if I'm fishing Winnebago or fishing Green Bay, so I'll go through that milk run and hit like a dozen to 15 spots. And a lot of times if I'm marking a lot of fish, I won't spend a lot of time on a spot. I'll give them fish 20 minutes at the very most. And if I'm not catching them, I'll definitely keep moving on my milk run. But when something's happening as far as a pressure change, you know, something's happening in the atmosphere, when that changes, I'll definitely go back to the places if I need to where I'm marking the most fish. I always believe that they're always biting somewhere, somehow, but there is times where you just got to have patience, and today's definitely one of them things. We must have moved 20 times at least, tons of bluegills, a few perch, but now it's like game on for the perch.
It's almost like the days when you had a Harley and you were waving to the guy on a bike. You see another warrior on the water, you just get a good feel.
First class, all the way from the people that ride them to the people that make them.
They do such a nice job with communication. They'll pick up the phone anytime. It's really almost a friendship.
You could be in any state, and when somebody with a warrior drives by you, you get that honk, that beep. You're truly part of a family, and there's nothing like it.
Introducing Forever Barnwood. Transform your space with the warmth and character of a genuine barnwood look. Forever Barnwood offers over 200 authentic barnwood products. We are commercial and food safe. Our products are available in unlimited quantities while still providing the consistency you need to complete large projects. All of this while still looking like it came out of a 100-year-old barn. Forever Barnwood. Bring the history inside.
You know how there's always a story to everything? Today we've got Tony from Larmac, and brought me a shirt, which is pretty darn cool. You know, he didn't think that it was very funny that I mispronounced his business name. So, you know, the key thing too is on all the shuttles, you want to definitely use the Mylar. I don't. Hey, the key thing that you definitely want to use on your shuttles is using the Larmac. Bruh. Larmac. Hey, the key thing you want to use on all your shuttles always is use the Larmac 360. He gave me a shirt to kind of remind me really how to pronounce it. It's Larmac, right?
What do you think it was, Larry? Larmar?
Oh. It was one of them days where my brain is like glitched up, which happens sometimes, you know, where you just can't get anything out, right? Hey everybody, this week's tip of the week brought to you by our good friends up at Mike's Country Meats, the finest jerky on the planet. You know, one thing I've learned a long time ago, and I learned it from my dad and a lot of the other guys that mentored me, when it comes to perch fishing, one of the most important things is you don't want to have a lot of sway in your boat. You don't want that boat going back and forth. You can always still tell by the really good perch fishermen, most of the time they don't use their trolling motor. They will still anchor, and a lot of times they're using 2 anchors to try to keep that boat as still as they can. Probably one of the most productive spots when you are fishing and using your trolling motor, using the spot lock feature, is to have your rods right straight off the back of the boat like Pete's got his, because the main thing is you're not getting that sway back and forth. Hey again everybody, this week's tip of the week brought to you by our good friends up at Mike's Country Meats, the finest jerky on the planet. You know, the older you get, the more experiences and the more things you've seen in your life, and you do gain a little bit of wisdom. It's amazing how many people hold grudges against each another. You know what? It's one of them things where it's never going to do you any good. I look at it this way. You can never change what happened in the past, but you can only change what happens in the future. I'm very fortunate that you guys watch the show each and every week, and I really appreciate that. I want to see more people enjoying the show. I want to see more people being happy with their life. You guys keep fishing and enjoying what you're doing.
I'm Tony Larson in Clear Lake, Iowa. I own Larmac 360.
And what is Larmac 360?
It's a mount to hold your shuttle or even just your graph on the side of the boat. It swivels around, locks in place just at the turn of your wrist. It's pretty slick. It literally has 4 bolts.
That's it, huh?
That's it. 4 bolts, takes you about 1 minute. Portability is the main reason I'm doing what I am. These live scope or forward facing units are very expensive. So to have multiple units, if you have 2 boats or 1 boat or 3 boats or your buddy's boat, as long as they have a track system, you can take your shuttle and mount it right into their track up off the floor. Because, I mean, the reason this all started was basically because I about lost one off a seat. I was sitting in on the seat, resting there. Waves came by and about knocked it off of there.
Okay.
So that would have been a few $1,000 mistake with that screen broke. And I was tired of looking at the floor. It hurts your neck. Now you can put it up on the gunnel, get it in front of you where you're fishing so you can cast. Everything's in front of you.
It was a good day, I'll tell you that. You know what, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's show. You know, it's all about really trying to learn, and today was definitely, it was a challenge, but you know, that's the thing I love about fishing. It all worked out in the end. We were very persistent. We stayed and just kept moving, and we got on a pile of perch. I'll tell you what, you definitely guys have got a bluegill problem in these lakes here. There is bluegills everywhere, and nice bluegills. And let's tell everybody how they can get a hold of you.
If you'd like to book a trip for panfish, walleyes, anything you want, any species, you can call me at 608-609-2707.
Hey, the part I love about Pete Hupf is that he never gives up, and the other part is he's very enjoyable fishing with. Thank you guys, and like we do each and every week, and as long as I own the show, we're always gonna say this because it's so important to me. Make sure that you guys give special thanks to all of our military men and women for the great service they have given this country and continue to give this country, along with all of our firefighters and paramedics, and no doubt our law enforcement agents. Hey, it is a great day to be alive, you guys. Thanks for joining us, and I'll see you again next week.